All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful skills your team can possibly have, handling customer calls like an absolute pro. And the best part, we're gonna break down a framework that lets you train your entire team on this in just half an hour. Seriously, let's get right into it. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Hasn't everything moved to email and chatbots? Well, take a look at this number. A huge 61% of customers still grab the phone for urgent issues. This isn't just an old habit, it's a critical customer need that isn't going away.
For a lot of small and medium businesses, especially here in the UK, the phone is your secret weapon. Think about it. When a customer's problem is urgent or maybe a bit emotional or just too complex to type into a little box, they call. That's your chance. That's where you have a real competitive edge.
Let's be real for a second. Digital channels are great for efficiency, but a personal phone call, that creates a genuine human connection. It's a warmth that an email or a chatbot just can't fake. This is your moment to turn a simple transaction into a real relationship. So, we've seen the opportunity, but what about the risk? What happens when a call goes wrong? Well, it doesn't just end with one unhappy customer. Oh no, it kicks off this hidden and, believe me, very expensive chain reaction. Just picture this for a second. A customer calls you. The greeting is rushed. They feel like they're being dismissed, and their problem doesn't actually get solved. We've all been on the other end of that call, right? It's so frustrating and feels like a total waste of time. So, what's the immediate result of that bad call? They have to call back. Just like that, you've doubled the call volume for that one single issue, and you've definitely doubled that customer's frustration. And it gets worse, because now your team is tied up dealing with that second call from the same person. The queue for everybody else just got longer. All your other customers, with brand new issues, are now stuck waiting, and their patience is wearing thinner by the second. And this is the point where a private problem becomes a very public one. That frustration from that one bad call starts to snowball, and before you know it, unhappy customers start posting negative reviews online for everyone to see. So, when you boil it all down, it really comes down to this. A bad call leads to wasted time, angry customers, and lost money. But a great call can turn a frustrated person into one of your most loyal brand advocates. That's the power we want to unlock.
So the big question is, how do we make sure every call is a great one without pulling your team off the floor for days and days of training? Well, that's where this beautifully simple, elegant 30-minute framework comes into play.
It is so simple. It's broken down into 3 easy 10-minute modules. First impressions. That's all about nailing the start. Second, active listening, which is for managing the heart of the conversation. And third, closing with confidence. Make sure you end the call perfectly. Okay, let's dive into that first 10 minutes. Module 1 is all about first impressions, because let's face it, those first few seconds can set the tone for the entire call. You gotta get it right. The keys to a great start are actually surprisingly simple. First, try to answer within 3 rings. It just shows you're on it. Second, use a consistent greeting every single time. And third, and I know this sounds a little cheesy, but smile when you speak. People can literally hear the warmth in your voice. It works. So what does that actually sound like in practice? Something simple and professional like this. It's polite, it says who you are, and it immediately offers help. It is a simple script that your entire team could start using tomorrow. Okay, so you've nailed the opening. Now we move into the core of the conversation. This is Module 2, active listening and call control. This is all about really understanding what the customer needs while also guiding the conversation so it stays productive. To do this, you want to use little verbal cues like, I see, or okay, that makes sense, to show you're actually listening. Use open-ended questions to get the whole story, then switch to closed questions to nail down specifics. And this is crucial. If the conversation starts to drift, you need to know how to politely bring it back on track. And here's a perfect example of how to do that redirection. See what's happening? You acknowledge the frustration, that's empathy, but you gently bring the focus back to solving the most important issue first. This keeps the call efficient and way more effective. And here we are, the final 10 minutes of our training. Module 3, closing with confidence. How you end a call is every bit as important as how you begin it. A strong closing stops those annoying callbacks and leaves the customer feeling totally taken care of.
The perfect farewell has a simple 4-step checklist. 1. Summarize the solution you've provided. 2. Confirm any next steps. 3. Thank the customer and mean it. And 4. Let them hang up first. It's a small psychological trick, but it leaves them feeling in control of the conversation.
And you've got to pay close attention to that final question. Asking, "Have I resolved your concern today?" is one of the most powerful things you can do. It gives the customer one last chance to ask something, and it confirms for both of you that the issue is truly, completely solved. It's a game changer. But of course, a 30-minute training session is really just the beginning. It's not magic, right? The real key is turning these new skills into habits that actually stick around. And that's all about reinforcement.
And this doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing. You can do this easily. Give same-day feedback on a call or two. Have a quick 10-minute huddle once a week to talk about a great call you overheard. And just recognize good work. A simple great job on that call goes a surprisingly long way.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought to chew on. What if you and your team stop seeing customer calls as just another task to get through? And what if, instead, you saw every single ring of the phone as an opportunity? An opportunity to solve a problem, sure, but also to build a relationship and create another loyal fan for your business.